Welcome to the Spiritual Sweet Spot, a place where you can rejuvenate your soul. Hosted by author M.B. Mosley. This is a safe space for all. How's everybody doing? Mental check-in. How is your health? How is your mind? How is your soul? How is your spirit? I don't know about you, but it is 3:16 a.m. and I was having an intense conversation with spirit. And I said, you know what? I need to get here and talk about this. This message is timeless. This message may resonate with someone going through this. I've come to encourage you, and I've just come to talk to you. You know, it's definitely, we are living in different times. I'm not naive to that fact. And it's very important that we guard our energy. We guard our space the best way we can. When I was laying there, I was telling Spirit, why am I feeling so demotivated? This past week, I've had no desire to doing anything. And I could say this past week, but it almost feels like the past couple of weeks before this one, leading up to this one, I've been so demotivated. I noticed that it's a different demotivation or unmotivated, however you want to put that. But I've just, I say, Spirit, I'm not understanding this, And Spirit said something fundamental to me. Because with being unmotivated / demotivated, I started to feel myself feel sad. Just sad. Just sorrow. Just feeling this heavy blanket of sorrow. And I couldn't quite pinpoint. I've been navigating like a zombie. And it's been hard to get out of bed. It's been hard to think. It's definitely been hard just to do regular, everyday things. And I thank the fact that, my husband is here, because I truly think that if I was by myself, I would never get out of bed. I would just probably lay there 24 hours a day. And this is a different type of moment in my life. I have felt similar moments or so forth, but this one is very unique to itself. Just really like no energy. And so I'm seeking Spirit, and I'm like, Spirit, what is going on? The best thing I like to do for my life when I see that things are different or that this is not necessarily me, I always like to ask Spirit to help me understand the moment, or at least peel back my eyes and let me see with spiritual eyes, because sometimes we're seeing things on the surface and there may be underlying things that the spirit world has to see. So I always have spirit for that assistance. And spirit has always come through. And spirit was highlighting something interesting. As I was asking what's going on, spirit pointed something. Sometimes it takes a moment to 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 think about things, I guess, or maybe perhaps the human brain doesn't want to reflect on the bad parts of life. Perhaps that's my brain capacity, where even though in my unmotivatedness, I laid there, I did my uh sad enough, my little 5 minute, 10-minute morning meditations. But other than that, because it's like my brain is trying to continue some normal pattern of life or whatever you want to constitute as normal in 2021. But other than that, I just know that this moment is not the me that I know or knew, and then again, who's the me that I know or knew? And so Spirit was saying something really profound to me. It really encouraged me. Spirit said to me, the art of doing nothing is the art of doing something. Ho, ho, ho. Gotta ring that 3 times. Spirit said, the art of doing nothing is the art of doing something. Now, you all know, for those that have been following this podcast, how I go back with Spirit. I'm like, okay, Spirit, listen, I just asked you a simple layman's question, okay? Sister needs to get back on track. All of this art stuff here. And Spirit said, calm down, slow down. You're not listening. And I said, you know how I get, Spirit. The art of doing nothing is the art of doing something. I hadn't given Spirit a moment to really soak through, till Spirit told me to come down and really ponder the message. And I realized something fundamental, because then Spirit took my mind to the moments I was trying to deflect from. When you're living life, you're just navigating sometimes and, focusing on the positives, and or trying to focus on the positives and trying to keep the train moving on the tracks. But Spirit took my mind. And I'd never had this profound reflection, and perhaps this can encourage and help somebody. And there's nothing wrong with visiting a past or reflecting on the not so great parts of your life, as long as you don't live there. It's okay to go on vacation there, but go ahead, come on back. And so here's what Spirit was highlighting to me when I paused to ponder, and it hit me the 3rd time. Spirit reiterated that it is okay to do nothing because you're doing something. It is okay. Spirit said, give yourself permission to do nothing because you're doing something. And I'm like, Spirit, but doing nothing is not doing something. She said, no. Remember, my spirit is a she, and she's I is she. Children, that is not proper grammar, but you get the point. And it resonated to me, and the message came so profoundly in the fact that, no, listen to this. This is the moment in my life where doing nothing is doing something. Spirit reiterated that it is important to be in tune with your body, important to be in tune with your mind. The feelings that I've been feeling, demotivated / unmotivated, and just this blanket of sorrow I've been feeling. Spirit said, sit in it. Doing nothing is doing something. This is it that I'm supposed to be doing. And then Spirit highlighted something in my mind that the problem, because Spirit likes to check me, and I'll be like, come on, Spirit, why we gotta go there? And Spirit's like, I gotta take you there. And Spirit said, the problem with you, memory. And I said, I'm listening. Spirit said, the problem with you, memory, is that you put too much in your plate for yourself. It's always been a thing for me. And I said, okay, Spirit, what are you trying to say? And Spirit said, it's as if I subconsciously force my mind to go, go, go. My calendar is always full. For 2021, I'm supposed to finish 3 book projects. That's where my mind is. But you don't stop to pause to realize how life has shifted around me, how things have maneuvered around me. So now, because I'm not slowing down that train, and because I have so many expectations for myself, which I put for myself, you're finding yourself a little overwhelmed, because now you're facing the month of October, and we got 2 more months, and we were not complete with what we said we should have been completed with by this 4th quarter of 2021. And so now, because you didn't stop to ponder, slow down to smell the roses, open your eyes to see the situation, the shifts, to embrace and to take in all the emotions of everything that's been going around you, because your mind goes, your body has to remind you now. And by my body reminding me, it's slowing me down. It's like, nope, we tired mentally and soul-wise. Have you just ever been tired? Within, I always say tired in your mind. Okay, it's not like I'm tired, like, oh my gosh, I've just like done 10 miles cardio. Tired. It's like just tired in my mind. Sorrow, and the overwhelmingness, and just demotivated, unmotivated. So Spirit said, what else do you expect? Your body's just like, listen, shut down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, chilling. Spirit said, if my mind is not willing to slow down and recognize everything that's going on around me, my body's going to remind me. I said, come on. I got things to do, Spirit. Let's get up out of this funk here. Let's get up out of this funk. How we do it? How are we going to do it? Spirit said, it's not about how you're going to do it. You're not just going to perk up and jump up out of bed and say, we're back. You're going to embrace it each and every day. Your nothingness is somethingness, if that's a word, and not. We have formulated a new word, somebody called Webster. But you understand. So for those of you, or if someone is out there, perhaps feeling unmotivated, feel like you've lost your spark, you feel like you don't know where you're going, if you're going or coming, you are no longer interested in the things that really lit a fire in your heart, and you're trying to navigate your way. Perhaps your body's trying to help you to pause and smell the roses. Take inventory. Enjoy the moment. Embrace the moment. Embrace the feelings. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent. Soak them all in. And if you're like me with the expectations and the calendars and what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, so forth, Spirit say screw the calendar. I was like, I don't know about that. Cringe worthy. Oh, you can't do that. Let me at least finish one project. Spirit said, no, screw it. Done deal, chill. I was like, wow, you know what? I've just never really given myself permission to just chill. Like, okay, I said, look, it was a little argument, but it was like, okay, I think you got a point, and that just, right? A sigh of relief came over me. I'm like, okay, wow, okay. I mean, I don't have like anybody else's deadlines for heaven's sake. Spirit has a sense of humor because that's why I was like, listen, don't get smart now. Because she sure did. She was like, it's not like you're working with anybody's deadline, are you? I was like, oh, no, I'm not. But it's just things that each year and she was like, each year you what? This is not it. We're taking a different approach this year. I said, okay. And here's the other thing. As I was sitting there, Spirit said, let's be honest with the things that you've been deflecting. I said, suck it to me. Spirit said, in 2017, you lost your spiritual mother. How did you process that? I said, immerse myself in the only thing I knew, which was being a workaholic and just head down, show up when I'm supposed to show up and never stop working. Spirit said, how did that work for you? Not well. Because a lot of pain sat there. A lot of unresolved pain and hurt sat there. And especially the way events happened. And her passing. This was a lady in my life who was an actual mother figure to me. A lady in my life that actually was a support in my life. It wasn't until that moment in life that I realized that my life had never been supported as an individual. A lady that loved me unconditionally, took me in just like her own daughter. And she passed. When she passed, we had been around each other for about 9 years. Thanksgivings, Christmases. I moved out here to the Midwest from Southern California, so this was my family here. And the whole time, this lady, she showed me life itself. A big heart, person that loved me genuinely. And I don't know, she taught me a lot about life, y'all. And I remember we went cutlery shopping one time at this like really, listen, look, I didn't know. I'd never entered any one of these like fancy, just like silverware stores only. I didn't even know was a thing. And she took me to this place. I didn't even know it existed. And she showed me how to shop for silverware by the weight and what each silverware piece means for your dining room set when you have visitors and so forth. I mean, it was just like next level life lessons, that come in handy. And among many things, she has so much grace, elegance, and just a beautiful soul. A beautiful soul. And you realize in life that people don't have to do anything for you, but you find people that do stop and do something for you, with you, and by you. And because we developed this relationship, the early 2017, it had been a lot of stuff going on in the back scenes. Another story for another day. But that was the first time in 9 years that we didn't see eye to eye, but because I respected her so much like a mother figure, I just couldn't communicate, because I just wasn't one of those people that just like really just, this is, I just wanted to respect it. And I knew that I was a little bit, upset at what had happened. And I wanted to pick a better time to talk about it, where my mind was very rational, and able to sit down and have a conversation. So I kind of pulled back. This was February 2017. And when I pulled back, I kind of just went into isolation a little bit, only because I was also hurt at some things that had transpired at that moment and so forth. Um, and July, her and her husband stopped by to check on me, see if everything was doing good, that because they hadn't seen me, and I was just giving myself time, just to think, and then knew that we're going to get together and really talk about this issue. October 29th, she passes. Nobody told me she had lung cancer. I didn't know. I had been close to this family, to the children, to the husband. Nobody called me to say come see her before she passes. So she passes without me having had that conversation. It was left unresolved. Crushed me. I didn't know how to handle it. Total downfall, spiral. That's 2017. So buried myself in the things that I knew and try to live life. But things show up differently. 2018, about April, I was scheduled for a vacation at the start of June. 2018, life itself has an interesting way of either getting us out of comfortable places or reminding us of what we need to do. Before 2018 rolled in, I had given myself, first I gave myself a 5-year marker at this company I was working at. 5 years came and went, comfort. And then I started to get to that 10-year marker, and I'd written it down that I was going to retire myself. It was all written down, planned down. I was going to retire myself from this company and this career with this company on 12/20/2020, just like that. And so 10 years came and went, and I was still there. And so that's when the date came about, like, okay, let's write a date. Let's pencil down a date for real. Pencil down that date, 12/20/2020, exit. After 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years go by. We're in 2018. April. And before April came around, it was about probably the 2017 November, December. Leadership at the top level was switched out. Was appointed the co-CEO's brother. Those that have followed the podcast may know some of this story in particular. And so I'm going to just cut it short. And so the co-CEO's brother, the whole entire time that I'd worked for this organization, I had worked with executives, 3 different types at 3 different levels, respected my work ethic, respected theirs. They were true at what they were called to doing, great work reputation. We flowed simultaneously, did favors for some of the female execs there because, if they needed a job done, they were calling me, and that's just humbly said. But so I was flexible like that. And I felt so indebted to this organization because the relocation had happened. They had done the relocation, paid the relocation bonuses and all that. So I felt so indebted, and my loyalty sometimes needed to be, at that time, I've learned through life that my loyalty needs to be reassessed. And so I never had an issue in the organization. The 15 years that I worked there, nothing but good things I heard. And I'd always maintained a longevity with employees and so forth and all that other stuff. But in 2017, while all that was happening, turning around to 2018, I lost two of the long term employees. So now you're talking about a transition from two of like the best employees that had tenure there. And so now you're getting new people in. So all this is happening in the madness of all of this. And this is spirit. Spirit is taking me down this path that I'd never sat down to really reflect on. And so we turned around at the end of 2017, the co-CEO's brother is appointed there. They've been working for the organization because they have ties to the CEO. And so 2018, we turn around and there's so many changes and working through the transition. Off a side, so before we go all the way there, what started happening was I've always been a person of integrity. I'm not a perfect person, by no means necessary. Heck, I didn't came home with a few paper clips before in my pocket. I'm like, oops, stealing much? But no, that was an accident. But I mean, paper clips in the pocket. Come on. And so, but anyways, I'm not perfect, right? But if there's something that I know for myself is integrity. Only because I just want to treat people the way that I would prefer to be treated. And I know it's not a perfect process, but that's just always been my life mantra. So in the midst of that exchange of leadership and so forth, because we're so chaotic, we're getting new hires and trying to do all these things. And now I'm communicating with this co-CEO's brother. And I'm like, I've got these two dynamic candidates and, I'm trying to really finesse the company for a great wage because it's good help. You want to keep good help and they're promising, and so he's on board. I'm continually communicating like I did with the other people I'd worked in leadership with before. Email communication, documentation. Anybody in leadership, keep that paper trail coming, honey. And so everything is on board. We turn around for 2018. We're supposed to officially give these positions to these two wonderful employees, and this man, the co-CEO's brother, sending an email. It's time to officialize. Da 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 da. We wanted to wait out of January. January wasn't one of the best performing months, so February was official. We had a date. And he had sent an email where, after finessing a wage for these two amazing people, I had done a meeting already, talked about the wage compensation there. They were on board. They were excited. I was excited because these were amazing young women with children, families, mouths to feed and so forth. Turn around. We're trying to officialize and finalize. And the co-CEO's brother, I'm sending my email correspondence. I'm like, all right, we're on board. We're getting ready. This is the date for the official positions. He sends me an email back. Got all of this stuff. One day it'll be published or whatever I want to do with it. Because, if I tell you, you think I'm making stuff up. He sends me an email back. This is a corporate, this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Okay. He sends me an email back. And he says, in an email, shh, let them fulfill the positions. We're not going through with the pay compensation. Don't tell them anything. Did you guys catch that part? In a professional corporate email, this man is saying shh, like literally shh. SHHHH dot. Don't tell them anything. Let them continue in a promoted position title, but we're not compensating them for the position title, is what he's saying. And so I'm utterly confused because I'm like, how does this work? Because they're going to see their paychecks, right? And they're going to see their hourly. And so I'm the middle person right in between this communication. And you're not going to get me caught up. because we already discussed this with them before, and this is what they're expecting. And I told people this: don't commit a crime in front of me. I'm snitching. So I took that email correspondence, took ownership of that. I sent him an email. I do disagree that we should keep this quiet because they're going to find out, but I can ask them if they want to remain in the titled positions and explain to them that they won't be getting the compensation is what I sent him. Just out of fairness, because how does that work? No. And so, all right, guys, that's it for now. But tune in to the next podcast download for part 2. This is all important. Spirit has a message, and the final part will reflect the revelation for Spirit's message for taking me down this path that I've been avoiding to face in my life, and everything will tie back. Just rock with me and see where it ends. Now, I have an important message. I love you guys so much, and if you find yourself in a space where you feel that you need help and you feel that it is beyond you, I advise that you reach out to the helpline, the national helpline. It is 1-800-662-HELP. That is 1-800-662-HELP. 4357. If you feel that you're at an ends meet with life and don't know how to go forward and you need help, reach out to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration number. That is 1-800-662-4357. Guys, I am a big proponent of mental health. I am currently in therapy. I've been seeing a therapist for the last 2 years, and I recommend it to anybody that feels this is beyond me. I need somebody to give me guidance. For me, therapy has been one of those where I get this different perspective that also helps me deal with myself. And folks, sometimes it will take time to find the therapist. It's kind of like finding that person that is able to work with you, and no one person is perfect. It took me two therapists to find the third therapist that was well versed in narcissism and childhood traumas, and that is exactly what I needed. I needed the healing proponent to work issues out from my childhood. So guys, don't be afraid to reach out for help, and the national helpline is 800-662-4357. I love you, and tune in for the part 2 podcast. Wait for the download for the part 2 podcast, and let's keep this going, because there is a strong message for that individual that's sitting there unmotivated, feeling like you've lost your spark. Perhaps you've walked away from that career and you were not yet ready because of all this wahala that's going on in the world today. Honey, I'm here to tell you that there is hope. I'm here too. I'm still sitting and I'm still standing. So tune in for that next podcast. I love you guys so much. Life is happening right now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but today. Seize the moment to enjoy each day while en route to your intended destiny. A quote by Memory Ben Gessemer. If no one has told you this today, I love you. I appreciate you. And yes, we can do this thing called